Today, under the customer service module, we will talk about customer expectations. Well, let's see what is there for us on the agenda today. We'll talk about what exactly is customer expectation, the meaning of customer expectation. We will understand the 5 levels of customer expectations, techniques for exceeding the customer's expectations, cultivating credibility in customer service, importance of values and ethics in customer expectations, and last we will talk about what are the new trends in customer service. Well, I'm very excited to teach you on this particular module, so let's get started. Well friends, if I have to make you understand what exactly is customer expectations, there is a very simple and a brief explanation of the same. Customers hold both explicit and implicit performance expectation for attributes, features and benefits of products and services. Well, in short, customer expectation is whatever the customer expects after he has bought the product or the service from that particular brand or company. Well friends, we'll talk about 5 levels of customer expectations. These are very essential to understand what exactly are the levels under customer expectation. This is what goes on inside the mind of a customer. The first one is explicit expectation. Now, explicit expectations are mental targets for product performance, such as well-defined performance standards. It's something that the customer generally expects because that has the standard been already defined through them by another organization. So they really want to know, okay, this is what my expectation is because of the kind of performance or something which is already been set, a standard which has been set already which needs to be maintained, and that is what is explicit expectation. Implicit expectation, that is the level 2, which means reflect established norms of performance. Implicit expectations are established by business in general, other companies, industries and even cultures. Well, explicit is more to do with the standard already been set, and implicit is to do with what is internally important for a company or a business in general. That can have cultures, values and principles of that particular company where the customer is doing a business from. The third one is static performance expectations. Let's understand what is this. Performance measures related to quality of outcome may include the evaluation of accessibility, customization, dependability, timelines, accuracy and user-friendly interfaces. Well, to understand this in a very simple way, it is all about the way you are able to make a customer happy, not only by your product and service, but also in terms of your delivery, your timelines, and whether you're really able to make your customer expectations versus the reality of the service. That is what is static performance expectation from a customer. The fourth one is technological expectation. Well, the world revolves around technology and everything has gone digital nowadays. So let's understand what this is. Technological customer expectation focuses on the evolving state of the product category. Nobody wants to buy the same kind of things what they had bought before. So they're really looking at technology, be it online marketing, or they're looking at buying from Amazon or buying from Flipkart or Alibaba, etc. So how have you been able to promote your product and services on the online platforms is what technological expectations of the customer is all about. The fifth one is a situational expectation. Well, in building a customer satisfaction survey, it is also helpful to evaluate why pre-purchase expectations or post-purchase expectations or satisfaction may or may not be fulfilled or even measured. Well, a lot of organizations and companies as well as brands are doing something nowadays. They are trying to make, go to the customer and ask them what is the expectation before buying a product, what is their expectation after buying a product, and then they try to measure and come to a consensus whether they were able to satisfy the expectations or no. Well friends, these were the 5 levels under customer expectations. Moving on, let us now understand the techniques for exceeding the customer's expectations. All of us want to really go and make your customers happy, right? So how do you really make that happen is by following these techniques, which I'm going to share with you right now. Few tips which I'm going to share with you is do one thing really well. Do not try to do everything. Do not multitask. Focus on one thing and just give your heart and soul on that one thing for your customer. It can be giving a great feedback, or it can be making sure your product display is the best and all of that. So do one thing and do it well. Use positive words and empathy statements. Positive words really make a positive impact. So go ahead and use positive words. Understand what excellence looks like in your company. We all strive for excellence. So before making a customer happy, we have to first satisfy our own internal expectations with regards to excellence. Break the acceptance culture towards broken processes. If something is not working out, just leave it. Rather than targeting a broken process, get over it and start having new processes that you can design. Utilize the voice of the customer, which is a feedback. Whatever your customer is telling you, that is the feedback you need to implement and action upon. Take ownership of the problem. If it is something that has been done by you, a problem which made you feel bad about it, go on and take responsibility and ownership for it. This is a very, very important point. Follow up with your customers. Never leave them midway. After you've sold a product, go ahead and ask them and follow up how was their experience of the product or service that they have purchased from you. Make recommendations. Try to ask for referrals and recommendations from your customers. Treat your customers fairly. I think it's very important to treat everyone in the same way, and ditch the script. How many times have you got calls from call center numbers reading out a big script for you? Well, script is out, genuinity is in. So try to make it as genuine as possible whenever you're talking to your customer, either face to face or through the telephone. Well friends, now let's look at cultivating credibility in customer service. All of us really want to make sure that we look and sound good to our customers. So how do we do that? Always be consistent in your approach. Do not ever leave your approach midway. Always maintain consistency. Keep your word. If you have promised a customer something, please make sure you fulfill your promise. Always keep your word, because that will lead to customer not trusting in you. Develop your expertise and be authentic. Be unique in your own way as you can. Do not copy your competitors. Just be yourself. Customers and co-workers should be treated with the same level of respect. Now what happens is that we treat our customers very nicely because they are the money bank in our business, or they are the revenue providers in our business. But when it comes to internal customers or our co-workers, we do not give them that much of respect. So that's something that we need to work on. Build a web presence. Everything is becoming very, very digital nowadays. So make sure that your company or brand has a web presence in terms of a website, a social media platform, etc. Friends, let's understand what is customer value all about. Well, a customer value is the satisfaction that the customer experiences or expects to experience by taking a given action related to the cost of that particular action. A customer value, simply put, is what the customer really values about you, and you need to make sure that you give them the best value for the product or service that they buy from you. Now, what is the importance of these values as a customer? Prospective customers are not looking for your products or services, so make sure that you are not reaching out to anybody who's not within your target audience. Customer value means different things to different customers. Well, let's understand customer value is the same for everybody. So do not make sure that you are giving a different value to a different customers. Treat everyone in the same way. Uncovering the customer needs lets you align a customer value. So making sure that you are not going, rather you are going out of your way to understand the need of the customer. So uncover the customer needs. Customer value has a time frame that creates urgency. If your customer is short on time and is in a hurry, you also need to show that you are maintaining the urgency level of the customer. That time you cannot look relaxed. So if your customer is looking or sounding urgent, you need to match the same. Salespeople are responsible for building customers' value. So make sure that your salespeople are very charged up and always looking for creating value for the customers, because your salespeople are the brand ambassadors or the face value of the company. Well, let's understand certain customer service ethics for the organization or of the organization. Certain ethics which a customer or an organization needs to have is they need to have courteous. Now, courtesy is something that needs to be, it's like manners, it's like the respect that you show to your people. So have a lot of courtesy around. Respect your customers and respect each other. Commitment, if you have given a commitment, make sure that you do not lose out on that commitment. Always fulfill your promises and commitments. And honesty is always the best policy. So be as honest as you can as a company and as an organization, and that will help you to make sure that you have the best of customer service and expectation. Well, the current status of customer service is it goes through different levels. The first is ticketing, which is the foundation of all the help desk and customer support software. This is the starting point or the first impression which your company has over your customers. Self-resources or self-service things like which help the customers help themselves. It can be an ATM machine or it could be a bank, for example, wherein they come and get the service that they want to get. Social media is something that is the in thing today. So whether you have a social media presence or no is what you need to look at. Mobile, a lot of people are now turning to mobile apps rather than really opening their laptops and computers and logging into your website. So make sure that you're very, very technologically advanced in terms of having mobile apps. So increasing the popular platform customer uses to seek help. Friends, this is a very important part of our lesson today, the new trends in customer service. Well, the old is gone and the new is in. So let's understand what are these new trends. You should pay attention to social media is changing the definition of what's fast. The online world is changing how efficient we expect a business to be. So making sure that your online world is very, very tech savvy and you're reaching out to people and being consistent. The rise of self-service has led to generation happy to help themselves. Nowadays, people don't really want help. They are likely to help themselves. The always-on culture means customers expect 24/7 service or as close as possible. So go out and really ensure that you're there for your customers 24/7, 365 days in a year. E-commerce has become a very, very commonplace and a lot of people prefer shopping online rather than going to a retail store to shop. Channel or device hopping habits means customers expect omni-channel services. So people don't want to stick to one particular brand or one particular channel. They're looking at alternatives and they're also looking at your competitors. Social media has made the customer feel more empowered. So anytime they have a bad experience, they're likely to go to your Facebook account or Twitter and Instagram and post their dislike to you. Well, friends, that is what we have understood in this entire segment of customer expectations. I hope you have enjoyed listening to this particular module and I hope you have learned a lot on what is customer expectations all about. Thank you for watching us and good day.
Tutorialspoint.com. Simply easy learning.